Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to ask, is NBA 2K20 more about the right lineup than it is about actually being good? So I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. The topic of this video is more directed at the 2v2 court, but we're also here to talk about the 3v3 court and how the wrong lineup definitely hurts you there as well. So, to talk about our lineup on this 2v2 stuff, we got Shots top 5. I call him AK, y'all know the deal. Offensive threat, sharp takeover, 6'1", has 1 defensive badge, and that is where we entirely go wrong with this 2v2 court stuff. You can lose to absolutely anybody. Generally, every lineup that you run into on the 2v2 court is going to have double locks where they pretty much just target him all day while giving us a hard time on our offensive end because they have double locks, but you get the deal. Nonetheless, this is pretty much outside guard, inside big combo right here. I had the 6'9" finisher at small forward, legend as well, which is a finishing and defense pie chart. And then as far as our opponents go, two-way slashing playmaker at the 1, prim lock at the 2, so that would be a two-way sharp with the prim lock, and then the play lock obviously at the 1. But y'all get the deal. This is a pretty popular lineup. Obviously, Aiden and Bronny are over here using it in the wagers and stuff like that, or just in general if you've ever seen it in, the game. So when running a lineup like ours, you're gonna run into this type of problem right here every single time. I try to rotate off the wing early to help in the paint, and AK tries to kick out to the 3-point line. But if the point guard's ever good enough and has a good enough playmaking build as far as the pass accuracy and the speed of his passes, he'll be able to detect that and dot that every single time. Now, this is what we were trying to do throughout this game. We switched me onto the two-way slashing playmaker. Obviously makes more sense. The two-way sharp over there on the wing doesn't exactly have the best drive game. However, he is still a legend, so kind of makes up for that. You guys know the deal. I mean, even if he built his build with 1 finishing badge, to have 11 is instantly a massive increase. And for all I know, maybe he has a couple more finishing badges than just 1 anyway off like default build. But anyway, this is where I want to get to our playstyle on offense. We're going to be coming out here. We're going to be running pick and roll. Like I said, I pretty much have the inside big with the finisher at 6'9". Come out here, set picks. AK is going to use his speed, try to take advantage of that. If they play sides, we're going to try our best to run the slips and everything. But with this double lock stuff, I got to say, playing sides and switching everything and getting good passing lanes with their great speed on defense is kind of hard to deal with. And to be honest with y'all, what I probably should be doing in situations like this is just hop dunking the guard and just taking it right at the hoop because he's a little bit short of a defender. But y'all wouldn't respect that, so I choose not to do it in the first place. If I weren't a creator, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, I would probably be doing that in these situations. But like I said, for a respectability point and just for the sake of, just the integrity of the game, I suppose, because I have some self-respect, I choose not to just try to rim run these guys all game. And that does come back to bite us a little bit. Now, to talk about the inability of certain lineups, these guys come out here, like I said, you could easily just go ahead and take it at AK all game. However, since they have the two-way sharp at the 2, they don't always do that. They're just still going to take it at me, even though, I switch on to the two-way slashing playmaker right here. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is pretty much what they could do if they wanted to is just give the ball to who AK is guarding right here. Now, what they decided to do here instead, I got to show props to. It is smart, and you'd be stupid to just go out here and take it at me no matter who is ISOing, whether it be the two-way sharp or the play lock, whatever it may be. You'd be dumb to just come out here and try to ISO me instead of AK. So what they do instead of just giving the ball to this two-way sharp that AK is on, they run the screens and try to get me caught up in there and force me to switch off if we decide to play sides. And then just like that, if we do switch AK onto the two-way slashing playmaker, obviously it's going to be the exact same problem you saw from the beginning, where I'm going to try to drop off the wing or the corner, wherever he's at, and it's going to be easy dots. So like I said, they're coming out here setting screens on me. I had a couple adjustments I should have made. You can see I'm getting caught up on the screens for no reason to it. I should have been playing behind the screens all day, going under and just making him shoot and not get stuck on the picks and, let AK just kind of float around, guard the 3-point line whenever it happens. But unfortunately, I did wait quite a bit until making that adjustment. Now, I feel like my ISO defense was pretty on point. I was making him shoot quite a bit, yet still, even though I'm not playing too high, you can see I'm literally at the free throw line right there. He still gets past me, still gets the hop. And I mean, you could sit here and say whatever you want as far as me being on a finisher. You'd be like, well, aren't you doing the same exact thing? No, I'm not. And even at that, obviously, like I said, it's very different when it comes to a build like mine who can't even shoot the ball very often, especially from the top of the key off ISO. Whereas these builds right here, I have to sit here and respect their 3-point ability. When you do that and they're faster than my build as well, boom, just like that, easy ISO, right? Because after that, you just take it to the hoop on them. I mean, it's a pretty simple, equation right there. Anyway, I'm making my adjustment finally as far as the screen defense, just going under everything, making them, go for those pick and pop situations where AK actually has good speed, good perimeter defense. Doesn't really have great intimidator, but obviously can still contest shots pretty decently. Now, I help off wing again, and like I said, it's just hard sometimes to make those adjustments where you can fly off the wing, get good contests, And while even on that play is the two-way sharp driving instead of the two-way slashing playmaker, it is still really hard to help off that wing with the right timing and not give up a wide open three to kick out, where pretty much, I mean, every point guard build in this game is given at least gold dimer, where their two-way sharp has gold dimer, their point guard has Hall of Fame. Obviously, you don't even need to have that great of shooting ability to shoot, catch, and shoots and stuff like that. And we were getting absolutely BS'd on a whole lot of opportunities right here. So there were like 3 situations where AK gets a poke, another poke, and then gets an on-ball passing lane, stuff like that, where we just don't get the ball back. Fortunately, they got an NA shot right there where it just took too long in the shot clock for them to get anything off. But like I said, no disrespect to any play style, because like I said, I don't think what these guys did in this game was too toxic, where they really only have one guy who was doing consistent ball handling. It's not like they're entirely dodging AK, so I can show respect to people who decide to ISO me for a good situation of a game, or at least run pick and pops on me where they're trying to force a switch instead of just flat out giving the ball to whoever AK is guarding, because like I said, I can show big props and big respect to that. So as for a couple breakdowns on our offense, now you're going to see us come out with the pick and roll. They get the switch off. Now anytime this happens, I've explained this to y'all in the past, and AK knows as well, whenever we get the switch once, they're going to switch back. So I fake the screen, give them enough time to think that they have the comfortability of switching back. However, what it actually means is I just dip down the middle and get the slip off. Now this is actually super hard to do against two perimeter defending lockdowns where they're both really fast. They got good perimeter defense, got good steal rating, they can get in the passing lanes really well. It takes a lot of precision and timing and good chemistry and communication from me and my point guard to be able to do things like that. And you have great plays like that where literally everything sets up perfectly, he hits the pass at the right time and everything, and then the good old Bill with 91 pass accuracy and Hall of Fame needle threader and Hall of Fame dimer and etc, Hall of Fame everything playmaking, decides to just hit the dude right in the face that's right in front of him, and then the good old 38% contest that still go in. And to speak to the topic of the video, is 2K more about the right lineups than it actually is skill or execution? There's a lot of things on the screen you can look at right now. The point guard is Hall of Fame dimer. The person on the right corner that's shooting right now obviously has Hall of Fame shooting badges, has sharp takeover, etc. AK contesting him has 1 defensive badge and like bronze intimidator, so it becomes a lot harder to play defense like that. So again, the whole point is that AK's build isn't exactly meant to play good defense. It's more of like a 3v3 build where it runs point guard, sits in the corner, doesn't really have to provide much as far as the defensive end. But like I said, that's what we're here to talk about. I just feel like in a game full of archetypes where there's imbalance, because really, if you look back to 2K15 and 16 and stuff like that, where it was inside outside balanced, that is where the real balance was, because honestly, that's where builds didn't separate whether or not you have the upper hand or advantage on somebody. It's more just, are you better than them? Whereas nowadays, there's a lot of things you can manipulate. There's a lot of things that are better off for 2v2 core. There's a lot of things that are better off for 3s, Pro-Am, 1v1, etc. So it makes it more balanced, because then other builds are allowed on certain things. Like for instance, post scores other than 1v1 core are pretty bad. 2v2 they're pretty good as well, but on 2s why not just run double play locks pretty much? And that's where, like I said, for 2v2 double play locks becomes meta. For 3v3 a build like AK's at the point guard is meta, because it just has a supreme speed, playmaking, ball handling ability, the ability to get open. And then same goes for like Pro-Am, the BP's rule, because to be just a straight up scoring machine as far as the finishing and shooting goes, and then still be a good playmaker and then not really worry about defense. I understand that the archetypes allow for balance of certain play styles and certain courts to be effective, but like I said, it really does make it so if you don't have the right build, you don't compete well. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. If you made it to the end of this video, put LA in the comments to show your support that's made it all the way through, and feel free to leave some feedback on this video. I know this is a pretty touchy subject as far as the whole builds equaling less skill gap, but let me know what your thoughts are on that statement that I made as far as the whole inside outside balanced equaling more skill gap, but less entertaining and less interesting, I would say. And I brought today's video to you guys because in yesterday's vid I had a couple of comments asking me to show some losses, teach you guys a couple mistakes that I made and how to improve on those mistakes and not make them happen again. But in this gameplay, I feel like literally the one mistake that we made is exactly what I'm talking about with the title of the video. The one mistake we made is coming in here with this offensive threat with 6'1" and 1 defensive badge. Because flat out, you can't compete with a lot of teams with this stuff. Anybody who runs double lock ISO, it gets really tough to defend. I mean, it's going to be as easy as drive against AK, kick out as soon as I have to drop down and help, shoot the ball with Hall of Fame dimer and around 65 plus 3-pointer, which you can just bang every single time with 10 plus shooting badges. You guys get the deal. Anyway, that's all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, if you made it to the end of the video, put LA in the comments, show your support to made it all the way through. Feel free to leave some feedback. Let me know what you think as far as the topic that I was just talking about toward the end of the video here as far as the recap. But anyway, on that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.